We present to you the brand evaluation of the Tasting Room Wine Cafe by Leah, Ashley, Cindy, Mei Feng, and Kimberly. We will give a brief background of the company before going into our analysis of the consumer base and brand identity prism. The company was started in 2003 as the first wine bar in Houston to sell retail wine. At almost 9,000 square feet, it is one of the largest wine bars in the country. The brand has expanded to multiple locations in City Center and Kings Harbor, with sister companies sprouting up around town as well. Parent company Lasco Enterprises was founded by Jerry Lasco, who has taken his concept for the tasting room and developed a number of successful businesses over the last decade, including Max's Wine Dive, Flow Juice Bar, and Añejo Tequila Bar. Lasco has garnered accolades such as Best Companies to Work For in 2014, Top 5 Fastest Growing Companies by the Houston Business Journal for several years, and the Tasting Room in particular is considered one of the top 10 wine bars in Houston and even one of the best in the country. For the purposes of this project, we will be focusing on the original Uptown Park location, which offers a comfortable yet vibrant atmosphere with a lively bar and patio space, has a food menu designed to pair with over 150 wines in-house, and manages to pour over 1 million glasses of wine every year. The goals of the company are all centered around the common thread of providing exceptional experience through service and continuing to innovate within the industry. A semiotic square is a tool used to evaluate brands' customer base, organize them into distinct groups, and relate them to one another in a comprehensive way. We have identified 6 consumer groups unique to the tasting room. The 2 continuums are the wine lovers on the right and the social consumers on the left. From bottom to top, the consumers have a heightened investment in the tasting room as a company. The casual wino is someone relatively wine savvy and appreciates the variety of options at the tasting room. They are confident they will have exactly what they like, or that they can try something new suited to their tastes. They probably come with other casual winos. The collector is on the high end of the spectrum shared with the casual wino. These consumers frequent the establishment more often, so they know how the business model works and are familiar with the staff and management. They may be a bit more of a wine snob and have higher expectations of service. They like to feel exclusive and may own a locker or buy cases to go. The socializer is the complete opposite of the collector and contrary to the casual wino. These consumers don't necessarily care about extensive variety, but they enjoy the ambiance, food, wine, and music. They view this as a fun place to go with a group, most times during happy hour. They most likely buy wine by the glass rather than the bottle. Entertainers are on the same social spectrum, but patron the tasting room more loyally. They bring friends or entertain important clients because they enjoy the ambiance, food, wine, and music. They most likely order a couple of bottles each visit or may own a locker and are familiar with the staff. Sharing traits of both the collector and the entertainer is the connoisseur, who is passionate about wine as well as the tasting room from a social standpoint. They are highly invested in the company and definitely own a locker. Sharing traits of none of these groups is the home delivery package recipient, who uses the company's online services to receive customized orders of wine, and they have no real affinity to the tasting room as a physical establishment, though the values of the company are carried through this service. The Brand Identity Prism is a tool helpful in constructing a coherent brand identity that includes how a consumer should interpret, interact, and reflect the brand into their own self-identity. We will analyze the tasting room brand based on 6 categories: brand physique, brand personality, culture, self-concept, customer reflected mode, and relationship mode. The brand physique is a polished yet modern and rustic, cozy wine bar. The tasting room means to attract a wide variety of customers with this juxtaposition. This is carried throughout the wine and food menus. Brand personality is often a reflection of the owner or CEO's personality. In this case, Jerry Lasco. His passion and entrepreneurial spirit are reflected in this business. He also made the purpose of the company happiness, which shows the tasting room does not take itself too seriously. The culture or DNA of the tasting room is one of innovation, inclusiveness, and service. As mentioned, the tasting room was one of the first of its kind in many ways, and they provide a large variety of wine to suit all tastes. Customer self-concept concerns how the brand makes customers feel about themselves. A popular after-work destination, customers feel laid back, yet classy at this semi-casual bar. They also feel a cool confidence because of their implied social status. Uptown Park is a well-known, higher-end area of town. Customer reflected node is how a brand views their ideal customer and how they want the public to perceive the people who use their product or service. Based on our observations, this translates to a confident crowd of moderate to high-income professionals who are merry and social trendsetters. Relationship mode concerns how the brand communicates with its customers. We feel the tasting room aims to be personal and approachable, which is reflected in their social media style. By laying these two models on top of each other, we can draw conclusions about how each of the 6 consumers' needs are and are not being met by comparing it to the original brand identity prism for the tasting room. Some categories, like brand physique, personality, and culture, are relatively the same for each group, while others vary greatly. We will start by looking at the casual wino, for instance. They see much of themselves in the brand identity. However, when it comes to customer reflected mode, they are not in line with the trend-setting and social status of the brand. They also do not experience a very personal relationship with the brand, as there is more of a barrier between server and customer. The socializer also does not share the same passion for wine as the other groups, nor do they experience the exceptional service that is built into the brand identity. They are treated more hands-off and left to socialize and drink. These customers are confident with their groups of friends, but alone would not be comfortable making decisions about wine. The entertainer falls almost directly in line with the tasting room brand identity. They value the exceptional experience and identify with the entrepreneurial spirit that is evoked in the brand personality. They are confident and viewed as a trendsetter. The collector certainly values exceptional service and has higher expectations. Their overconfidence and high expectations may create a discord between them and the brand, which is aimed at a more casual approach to good service. Though there is a personal relationship between the customer and the brand, it is filtered through a more professional barrier. The connoisseur is supposed to be the ideal customer, but they may view themselves as above the average customer, as they are more familiar with the brand, more connected, and have higher expectations. Others would also view them as having a distinctly higher social status and income, though they may still seem more relatable and relaxed than some collectors. The home delivery recipient is especially concerned with the innovation of the company, as they are using a modern technological service. They display a passion for wine, but other than that, the customer self-concept is not known to the public, and the customer reflected mode can only be assumed as a classy, modern individual. The relationship mode is also different from other groups, as it is discreet and personalized online. The most pertinent gaps for each group can be summarized as seen on this table. The key to the tasting room's continued success is to address the area where each customer is experiencing discord between themselves and the brand. The casual wino is an important segment of the tasting room business. However, they are not flashy, nor do they demand attention. Thus, they can be somewhat forgotten in the chaos of weekdays after work. The tasting room should acknowledge the importance of each customer and find a way to make a more personal connection with them. The socializer, on the other hand, does not really care about personalized attention, but values the innovation of the company. However, the tasting room is falling behind many area bars on the technology and social media front and would be wise to enhance these features to continue to attract these younger customers. The entertainer is mostly satisfied with their experience at the tasting room on a consistent basis. However, this means staff and management should take advantage of their loyalty and focus on expanding membership. The collectors are less interested in the social scene and desire more intimate interactions during their visits. The tasting room should evaluate the table configuration to make quieter seating options more available. The connoisseur should be the most elite guest, but aside from locker storage, the other member benefits are somewhat negligible. Further benefits such as reserved seating or a private room access should be considered. The home delivery recipient is removed from the physical establishment, so there could be more information conveying the culture and personality of the company to draw these customers' loyalty. This has been a presentation on the Tasting Room Wine Cafe. Thank you for watching and listening. And we would like to give a special thank you to member Eric Brueggemann and General Manager Jason McCain at the Tasting Room for their assistance.